All right. Okay, good morning and welcome. Sorry for the little delay in getting started. We're getting all of our good electronic stuff up and running. We'd like to welcome you to our Board of County Commissioners meeting for today, July 3rd, and appreciate your participation with us today. As is typical, we'd like to begin our meeting with a reading thought and a prayer, along with the Pledge of Allegiance. We'd like to look to the audience for volunteers who'd participate with us. Are there any who have a reading thought or prayer? Ralph? Which one? Okay. And do we have someone who would like to lead us in the pledge? Perfect. All right.
Our Heavenly Father, we're grateful for the opportunity we have to come and meet and participate in local government. And as we approach the celebration of the birth of our nation, we are so grateful for the freedoms which we possess and pray that we may do the things as citizens and as employees to guard and protect those freedoms on a day-to-day basis. We pray that that would be with our county commission at this time as they make important decisions regarding the county. They'll be blessed with the wisdom and judgments which they need to perform their duties well, and that all may be able to support the efforts of the county. And again, we're grateful for this area in which we live and the bounteous blessings which are ours. And say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And of course, with Independence Day tomorrow, we would like to take time to wish each of you a happy Independence Day and blessings in your celebrations and express our gratitude for those who came before and fought the fights that have afforded us this opportunity. Abraham Lincoln made the observation, I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him. And as we think on our role and responsibility in maintaining freedom, I hope we can reflect on those words that our lives will so echo that the place of America will be proud of the way we conduct ourselves. We'll now turn some time to Commissioner Lee, who has a award presentation.
All right. Loyanne Darbro, will you come on down, as the Price is Right says, but come on down. I'm gonna read this off, and then while I'm reading this off, you can think about what you'd like to say, if you'd like to.
Okay.
But since I get every once in a while, I get an opportunity to talk with you outside the building, I know you have plenty to say.
Okay.
All right, Loyanne Darbro deserves to be Utah County Employee of the Month because she has been a tremendous asset in the Utah County Attorney's Office Criminal Division, continually going above and beyond her normal duties to make the daily workings of our office coalesce smoothly and efficiently. Despite a typical full workload managing one prosecutor's caseload, Loyanne willingly took on a second full-time prosecutor's caseload, which is unheard of in our office. This demands intense multitasking skills, which she performs flawlessly. Moreover, she often finds time to help her fellow legal assistant co-workers with other tasks when they are out of the office or otherwise swamped with their own cases. As a legal assistant, she constantly has dozens of irons in the fire that demands her attention, including calendaring hearings, preparing discoveries for defense attorneys, juggling hundreds of e-filing emails, and fielding calls from victims, witnesses, cops looking for case updates. At the same time, she is the first one to drop what she is doing to run a document to court for one of her her attorneys for an important hearing, or to sit in on a phone conference with a victim when the victim's coordinators are away at court hearings. She truly is a Renaissance woman who does not get the recognition she deserves. I'm sure there's something into that, but we'll let you talk to that. Her cheery disposition, patience, wit, and humor, especially with her much anticipated annual officers' Christmas party poem, are legendary. And maybe that's something that you could speak to. I mean, if you got something on.
You can't know about that.
Okay. It really boggles the mind to see how she juggles so many balls in the air at the same time. We cannot say enough about her. She truly has been a trusted confidant and welcome employee to the Utah County Attorney's Office for the past 18 years, and we hope she will stay for a long time to come.
Oh, thank you.
Here's your chance. Here's your chance to say whatever you like.
I was getting ready to give Chad a standing O. So I thought this was Chad. I just want to say that in my opinion, the county attorney's office is the best place to work. I love coming to work most days, and the people I work with, we're a good group. We love each other, and we're tight, and it's a pleasure to come to work. So.
Fantastic.
Applause to them.
Yep. Okay. We've got some stuff for you. And as always, pictures have to be taken. And you know you'll have to go get your picture taken so we can put it up on the wall.
I'm excited about that.
Turn right there. Thank you.
Thank you. We sure appreciate all of your diligent efforts. All right, we'll now begin the process of building the remainder of our agenda. All items will be considered moved to consent unless held for further discussion. Currently on our agenda, we have 11 items identified on the consent agenda. Are there any questions on those 11 items?
There's just one on number 8 on what account is number 8 going to? Do we know? I just said to be determined, and I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so it's going into the fiber optics account, whatever that number is. Okay. All right.
It is identified, though. Okay.
Is identified as a fiber optics one. All right. Although it doesn't say that in their documents, but still. Okay.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, I'm assuming you're good with that staying there.
Yep.
All right. Looking at our regular agenda, I had items number 6, 7, and 18 to be held. Did you have any additionals?
I think for number 8, if we hold number 8, and what was the other one that you wanted held?
6,
18?
7, and 18.
Yep, works for me.
Okay. So we will hold regular agenda items 6, 7, 8, and 18 for further discussion. All other items will be considered moved to consent. And by way of parliamentary note, given the absence of a third commissioner today, I will suspend the rules for the remainder of the meeting so that I can second any motions necessary. All right, moving to regular agenda item number 6. This is to look at adopting a resolution revising our purchasing card policies. We'd had some extended conversation about this a couple weeks ago, and some revisions were made. Bill, did you?
Yes. Here's this. You can have it as easier to follow along
Much
with.
easier too.
If we're looking at the policy, second paragraph that we have with the strikeout, which says the county will only reimburse employees who use personal funds, that second half of that, I actually, in looking at that, I think that we should leave that in there And here's the reasons why I think that should be left in. We should be using the county's P card in legitimate forms, so that, like we have said in the past, we'd like to capitalize on that usage and then the rebates that come from it. But I think that if we have this out where employees are using their own cards, there becomes a problem with, now they're getting the rebates for it, or they're getting the mileage
Or
or
whatever.
whatever it is that's
Right.
on there. So I think that we should leave that one in.
Correct.
And then at the bottom of number 1, I would like to add, we had an auditor's, state auditor's alert sent to us. And so I'd just like to read this and add it, since it comes from the state, and add it as part of number 1, where it says distribution of cards should be limited to those employees who have a compelling business need. P cards and credit cards should not be provided to employees and officers who have only an occasional or infrequent use. The office also discourages the sharing of cards, as it further weakens oversight and controls. Just as a statement from the state auditor. And then second page. Oh, nothing on the second page. Go to the third page. And you see where I circled that. So on that, it kind of has a form of where the responsibilities go to on this. And I think the department should be the ones that are responsible for the logs and keeping the records in place, not transferring that responsibility to the clerk auditor's office. I think they should be responsible for it. And that's why you have the strikeout of should either be submitted with the authorization for payment or the log, instead of transferring that and then having somebody else responsible for it. And then right after receipts, there's just a word missing, for.
Mhm.
And then under section 7, second paragraph, where it says in limited circumstances, I think we should just take that right out, because we already have a process in place with the accounts payable procedures. And so I think that's a duplication and a little bit confusing with what we already have established. So it's in there. I mean, we have it as a procedure. And then,
I almost wonder if it's good there twice, so under receipts.
and I think we could do that if maybe we were to put in there that it follows what we already have established, so we don't have conflicting. And I'm fine with that. You want to put that in like
Yeah,
that?
we can put it in like, because I just think it's
Put it in there
important
as-
that people understand there is a process.
Yeah, there is, yeah,
If
okay.
you lose a receipt, life's, it's not the end of the world.
So-
There's still a process.
Same, so it just duplicates and puts the same as, I'm fine with that. As a procedure, okay. Down on number 8, under unauthorized uses, under number 5, it says, computer hardware should be purchased. According to our procurement rules, that should be a must. And under 2-104 of computer furniture and telecommunications equipment, it actually states that it should be a must. So that's, I could read that if you want me to read that.
No, that's fine.
Okay. And then for a number 6, I'd like to add on there that it's unauthorized uses for professional services more than $500 with an annual the annual contribution total on that. So the reason why up to $500 is so that we don't get, like Robert was saying, the little nitpicky stuff where maybe the sheriff's department is taking a dog in for shots, and that's going to be a couple $100. I don't think that needs to go through this whole entire process. It alleviates the little stuff, but allows us to capture the bigger
Anything
stuff.
major.
With professional services being something that I'd like to see under contract, if at all possible. But if you're going to get copies at a copy center, that's technically some sort of a professional service that should be caught in that. And then on the next page, so with that change with professional services, we can cross out professional services account underneath that one because it's already been defined. And then capital equipment purchases. Capital equipment purchases are more than $5,000, and so this shouldn't apply. We already have that with contracts and everything in a place. So I don't see why we'd use a P card for capital equipment purchases when they are capital equipment by definition is a $5,000 level. So those are my suggestions,
Those look good.
okay?
I know Robert was gone today. I'm fine moving today with the noted changes.
I'll make a motion then.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution revising the Utah County purchase card policy with the noted changes. And I don't know if anybody's making note of that, or if you would like a copy of what I have, whoever that's gonna go to.
probably go to Robert and we can just send him this handwritten copy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'll second that, sorry.
You're-
A little lost there. So I'll I have a motion and a second to adopt a resolution revising the purchasing card policies with the noted changes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry 2-0. We'll now look at regular agenda item number 7, receive the recommended proposals on an RFP for construction, special inspections, and recommend a proposal for further negotiations or award of the contract. This one, maybe Richard, if you want to talk to this a little bit. I know this one come out a little close and a little split, so fill us in a little.
We put out a RFP for construction inspection services. So this is like all the special inspections, if they're welding or the bolts, things like that we have to do, concrete, that sort of thing. So this is an ongoing contract that runs for 3 years and used on an as-needed basis. We had the 4 firms that put in for it. As we ranked them, we had a CMT was ranked number 1, Terracon number 2, and then RB&G and PSI, or Intertech, tied for the 3rd place. Felt like we had 4 very good firms that could do it. The reason we went with CMT, they did have the best prices on the individual inspection services, and all of them are very qualified, have done a lot of good work. We've worked with all of them except PSI over the years, so. But our recommendation would be to go with CMT.
Yeah.
I know in reviewing the documents, it looked like it was very close and they were all really good.
And it looked like there was, I mean, great companies in there, and thank goodness you have that kind of option to look at it and say, how does it work the best for us? I just applaud those who are, coming forward with the RPNP, I'm back on lands, the RFP.
Yep.
And I feel comfortable going with the number 1 pick.
Sounds good. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we have received the recommendation and proposals as stated in number 7 and the selection for that, and we concur with the selection, or the recommending committee, that CMT Engineering Laboratories will be the one awarded that, and they will go through the negotiations with us to finalize that on contract.
Very good.
I'll second that. I have a motion and a second to approve regular agenda item number 7, authorizing negotiations of a contract to CMT. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry 2-0. Thank you. Number 8 is to look at the request from the Blue Haven Foundation to waive an event permit fee for county roads and the park reservation fee. Commissioner Lee, I believe this one you had a question on.
So this one here, I saw a letter. Did they file an application?
Yes, we have an application.
Okay,
for
I
the
just
event.
didn't see the application. I usually like to look through the application.
Okay. Yeah, we can-
They're a
we can-
501c3.
Yes,
We've
and-
done this in the past. I realize
Yeah,
that.
Same
Just wanna-
thing we've done over the past few years, and we do have the application, everything out at our office. So.
And they will report back kind of their
Yep, we will ask them to do that.
the report like we've normally done. Okay, I just didn't see the application, so I thought
That's probably my fault for
I'd
putting it
ask
on.
the question. So do you see anything on there that was, different from last year, or, okay,
In fact, I think it's the same route that they've done before and using the Benjamin Park.
right, okay, I have no, that was it, that was my
As
question.
a side note on this one, I may or may not have received a comment that you need to look at potholes on the route.
Oh, okay.
Free service project.
Yes.
Do that.
So, they appreciate all you do, but there was a comment that
We'll
there's
take a
a
look at
couple
the route.
potholes, and that, of course, I immediately said you should look and make sure they're not state roads.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Because I'm sure our guys wouldn't miss something like that.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the request as stated in number 8 on our regular agenda, with them coming back and showing the benefit to the public.
I'll second that. I have a motion and a second to approve
You do need findings that there's fair and adequate consideration to the county,
okay.
equal to or exceeding the amount of the fee that's
Okay,
being waived.
so I'll amend that motion that we find that there is fair or adequate benefit to the county for this event to go forward.
I'll second that. So I have a motion, an amended motion to approve regular agenda item number 8 with the notation of findings that the public good outweighs the cost of waiving the fees. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry 2-0. Next up, we had held for discussion was regular agenda item number 18. This is to authorize the commission chair to execute a class action opt-in form for Kane County, Utah versus United States as it relates to underpayment of PILTAC payments. On this particular one, something I'm fully supportive of. The reason I actually wanted to hold it for discussion was to just be able to talk about why we're doing this. One of the greatest strains, especially in the western United States, is the burden we carry financially as counties for hosting all of these public lands. It puts a great strain on our budget here, and we have a very small percentage comparative to places like Kane County of public lands. We feel like joining in this lawsuit not only helps Kane County, but it will also give us an opportunity to receive some funds that we feel are duly owed to us, enabling us to better provide our citizens with the services that we provide.
Yes, and if I thank you, and to add on to that as well, the state and other agencies have been developing a tool to be used, because it always comes down to a certain argument on, well, what's the land value? What's the value of that land? And this is payment in lieu of taxes. So the federal government does recognize that taxes could be recouped from these parcels of land, and so they have built a tool that is going to be used to model what, even at the lowest rate, of what that would look like for the counties if we were to receive those kind of fundings. And it's billions of dollars that would come back to the counties in the state of Utah. And so this payment in lieu of taxes, in some cases, the PILT, as it's referred to, I think of it as payment in lieu of trillions of dollars that we could receive. We're getting pennies on the dollars, which would be huge offsets for us in our education programs and our governments. So it's, and this one here is just they won the lawsuit. They want us to jump on board and go after them for that too. It'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. So I'm fully in support of it.
Absolutely. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the commission chair to execute the class action opt-in form as stated on number 18.
I will second that. I have a motion.
And can I just make one comment on there too? Sometimes the form looks a little funny. I think the email address for yours on there is really small, so we can't see. I just want to make sure that it's the form, because the I looks like a
I
T
looks
or
like T.
whatever, so
Yeah.
it's clear.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve regular agenda item number 18. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry 2-0. All right, we'll now look at setting our closed meetings. We will need 24 and 25.
I'll make a motion that we strike number 22 and 23.
Second, I have a motion and a second to strike regular agenda items number 22 and 23. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry 2-0.
Make a motion that we approve and set a date, time, and location for a closed meeting to discuss the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual or individuals at today's date at this location following the completion of our regular agenda.
Second, I have a motion and a second to approve regular agenda item number 24. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry 2-0.
Make a motion that we approve and set a date, time, and location for a closed meeting for a strategy session to discuss the pending or reasonable imminent litigation at today's date at this location following the completion of our regular agenda.
Second, I have a motion and a second to approve regular agenda item number 25. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry 2-0. concludes our regular agenda items. We had no work session items submitted. Are there any public comments?
Sheriff Tracy, I just need to rise and take this occasion to try to solve an issue that we are not getting any response from. Currently in the jail, as you know, we have about anywhere from 800 to a probable $1 million deficit that's in the jail medical line item that we currently have expended all our funds for. Part of that is based on an extraordinary case of an individual who has huge medical expenses, which we won't go into based on HIPAA rules. But we have hundreds of thousands of dollars currently owed that we have no money in that fund for. I've been requesting money or at least advice from the commission on how to proceed over the last couple months with numerous emails and haven't received anything back. At this point in time, then I'm taking that as an indication that I need to solve this issue within my existing budget. Looking at the budget, the only way I can do that is to recommend that we have a reduction in force of about 15 to 20 slots. Take that money and move it over to the medical so that we can pay our bills. We're being referred currently to collections. The doctor over the jail is paid from that fund and he has not been paid, will not be paid in this next segment. So we are at a loss to figure out what to do other than that. Having no information back from the commission, then I take that also as a vote of no confidence. At this point in time, I'm also resigning as sheriff effective August 1st. I will bring more information to you. I'll be initiating that action to make that reduction in force to equate to about $1 million. I will also take that effort to then close 2 pods in the jail and work out a system that is currently under review to eliminate 128 beds and release those individuals into the community through a type of system that will equate to longevity of inmate service in their current term of incarceration and the severity of their crime. Unless you have some other suggestions, that's where I'm at. All right? You have my resignation.
We'll have more.
Happy to have some more conversation. We're trying to find some of those funds through the budgetary process and work with
We're out of time.
some of our
We're
state
being
people.
We're being sent to collections, Commissioner. I've had no email responses from the 5 emails I've sent over 2 months. What am I to do? The time to act is now. I need to find that money.
Okay.
And I will move forward with the internal solution of that today, making a request to Lena to start the RIF process and send a notice to the courts that we will be looking at reducing 128 beds in the jail. I have no other solution.
Let's work through it. I know when I look at the account and I see $450,000 in that account that hasn't been expended yet.
Those are different line items. They're not for what this line item is for. Those are other payments that we're going to need for other parts of the medical. That's the problem. We can't take that money and move it over because we will expend that also. The money that is in the negative in that one line item area is for specific purposes, for payments of specific types of medical needs, and we are out of that money.
Let's have some conversations.
When?
Well, we have one right after this meeting, actually, to start with.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I said, I guess
I
maybe we
think
can't
that's-
have that one.
I think that's right.
There's one that we can't have afterwards. So let's have that conversation today.
I'm available all day.
Okay?
All right, any additional public comment? Seeing none, we will move into our closed sessions. Appreciate your participation today.